Ayo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. Yesterday, Offset went live on TikTok at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and while he was live, he asked all the people who were watching him to ask Cardi B to wake up and give him some buns. Check out your boy Offset in action.
Let me put that thing.
Ass up.
I'm trying to fuck you. How about that?
Babe, please.
5 a.m.
Put my fire on.
I'll put your fire on if you suck it. Sucky for fire. Sort this shit for a fire, shout. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm just over here shaking my head. What is this? I mean, whatever happened to self-respect? And I mean, honestly, if my husband did that, I would be like outraged. I would be livid. Like, who does that? I mean, how can you like say you respect your wife and then you put her on blast at like 5 a.m. in the morning with that request? I mean, that right there is crazy. And let me tell you something. There is a such thing as TMDI, and this right here is it. Too much damn information. There's some things you're supposed to keep private, especially between a husband and wife. Now, Offset might be too immature to notice, but husbands are supposed to honor and respect their wives. And the marriage bed is supposed to be kept pure. You're not supposed to be putting your wife on display in all of her nakedness on social media as some sort of sexualized object. Listen, let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about Offset going online at 5 a.m. asking the people to ask Cardi to give him some top? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. And while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, check this out. By now you're all aware of the Drake-Joe Budden beef that started when Joe critiqued Drake's new album For All the Dogs, and Joe said that Drake needs to grow up and stop making kiddie music. Well, Drake didn't like Joe's critique, so he jumped on his smartphone and he just started typing. Drake was like, "You have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you're doing in this clip, cause this is what actually pays your bills." For any artist watching this, just remember you're watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. To put it in simpler terms, I own a 767 and he owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions. Spell check, send. Listen, you know that Drake had to be heated to type out that whole long paragraph. Well, anyways, Joe Budden responded to Drake with one simple sentence, and that sentence said, quote, "You'll grow up sooner or later. Father Tom is undefeated," end quote. To which Drake responded back by saying, quote, "I thank God for this life and not having to come to rush conclusions on Best Buy podcast mics," end quote. Well, Derez from URL TV was watching the back and forth between Drake and Joe Budden, and he thought to himself, I wonder what a movie trailer would look like with these two in it. So he created it. Check this out.
I think that kid on that album that I heard sounds real fucking uninspired. That's what I think.
Somebody's gonna send a shot.
I'm not like you, man.
No, I'm a nice guy.
I can't be honest to your fans and say I'm honored to be around you. Yo, I used to listen to you.
That music sounds good and I enjoy it. I played that album all the way to DC and all the way back.
I've never shied away from defending myself. If I feel that you want to be slick or be offensive behind the scenes, I might choose to address it in music. Somebody's gonna catch you at some point.
I miss Drake that pushes the fucking agenda.
Joe Budden.
Yo, we're getting chased by Joe Budden, my nigga.
I miss the Drake that when he dropped,
The rappers hit him.
There's a point where you're gonna want to stop rapping.
No friends in the industry.
Nobody cares about this guy.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
Enemy of that.
Drake and Joe Budden are the same person.
Go find some niggas your fucking age. Hang out with them.
Drake responded back to Joe Budden saying you have failed at music.
It's not hate. It's not hate. It is.
And he's just made an entire career off of it.
The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
He initiated this. Unlike the media keeps trying to portray, I'm not as obsessed with Drake as y'all think I am.
Why are you trolling me this way? Honestly. Like, you don't think it's hurtful to me?
It's with an encouraging undertone.
No friends in the industry. I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. A fact.
I think I take compliments.
No, you don't take compliments, bro. You think everybody bullshit.
I'm jaded, right?
You're watching a failure. Give them a penny for the idea of a recipe for success.
Yeah, I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my
What do you think? Do you think that Drake vs. Joe movie would be a hit in the movie theaters? Or do you think that mess would be going straight to Netflix? Well, anyways, here's my take on the whole Drake versus Joe situation. Drake will never be able to win the war against Joe because Drake is on his new album dropping bars like, quote, "You forced a lot of fake love when real ones stood in your face. That's why you got deserted by your ninjas like pudding and cake. I got you on camera bowing down, but the footage is safe. Thank God, another USB put in the safe." End quote. Source, can we please rewind and play that tape?
Okay, so I can't be honest on your network here. I can't be honest to your fans and say I'm honored to be around you. We all used to listen to you, so I don't need. You need to take. You need. That's what you need. You need to learn how to take compliments.
Now, in addition to getting all giddy in front of Joe Budden's and saying that he was a fan, Drake has also been filmed saying that back in the day, he liked Joe Budden so much that he used to pattern his rhyme style after him. So, with that being said, I really think that Joe is the one that should be saying, "Nah, ninja, I got you on camera bowing down, but the footage is safe. Thank God, another VHS put in the safe." Well, yesterday, Joe jumped back on social media and shared some of the text messages that Drake was sending him behind the scenes. Check this out.
I don't think he said nothing else, and I need to get out. Oh, he's a young kid looking for blah, blah, blah. You just shitting on the wrong shit. It makes no sense. And that album is great. I know you're going to feel how you feel in a month. It's not about me. You owe it. You owe it to people to be better at your job. I love seeing you angry. I love seeing you angry, but only when it's warranted. And I said, stop, you're spinning a narrative now that I'm a hater. I didn't diss him. I said a lot. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see if there's anything else important here. He says, we can agree to disagree. My real issue is I hate when you talk about me like you have zero respect for me as a person, but we both know that's not the case. See, and that's where I circle back to Ish's point earlier. How could he feel like that? Like, is that cap?
No, I think he got caught up in the moment. I don't know him. I think he got caught up in the moment. And I think after he got an opportunity to chill, he's like, yo, maybe I went a little hard. Because he just said, yo, we have a personal relationship. I know you care about me. He just said it.
That's why I think all this shit is cap.
But
of course you fucking know I care.
But it could be an emotional, but it could be an emotional, impulsive thing where he jumped out based on a clip or two. He jumped out. Now I got to reel myself back in and say, yo, you my man. I don't like how you approach that. That should have been the initial response. He should have initially hit you with the DM. Yo, I don't like what you just did. Casa and I fuck with you. Yachty fucks with you. You went about this trying to spin a narrative on me, da 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 da. And that's a conversation, in my opinion, that takes place behind closed doors, not publicly.
See, this right here is why I'm very careful when I text people, because I swear there's no such thing as like a private conversation anymore. But anyways, let me know what you think about Joe reading Drake's private texts, and also let me know what you think about Drake saying it's not that Joe critiqued his album, it's the fact that he felt that Joe was mad disrespectful when he critiqued his album. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, check this out. On Tuesday, DJ Vlad jumped on X to call out Drake and DJ Khaled for not speaking out about the war taking place between Israel and Hamas. Vlad said, quote, "Has anyone noticed that the most famous Jewish person on earth, Drake, and the most famous Palestinian person on earth, DJ Khaled, haven't said a single thing about the Gaza-Israel conflict? It's not like Drake is too busy. He's been writing paragraphs about Joe Budden hurting his feelings about his new album. DJ Khaled has been working overtime promoting his new Jordan sneakers, but both of them have been silent on this topic. Why is that?" End quote. Vlad continued on to say, quote, "It's because both are so thirsty to maintain their relevance that they wouldn't dare risk insulting a segment of their fan base. Heaven forbid that Drake debut number 2 behind Taylor Swift because some of his Palestinian fans chose not to stream his album. And it would be the end of the world if Khaled sold a few less sneakers because some Jewish people decided not to buy his Jordans. That's the difference between artists today and timeless legends like Tupac. You know darn well that Pac would have been the first one to speak out about something so close to home." End quote. You know something? Tupac probably would have been one of the first people to say something. But Drake and DJ Khaled are no Tupac. And with that being said, I don't think that anybody should be trying to force anybody else's hand to be making a political statement until they're ready to make a political statement. Because what happens is, if you run out here and you make a statement too quick, you might mess around and pull a Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis was so quick to jump online and show her support for Israel that she posted a picture of children looking up at the sky as bombs rained down on them with a caption that said, "Terror from the skies." But what Jamie didn't realize is that she posted a picture of Palestinian children being bombed by Israel. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis deleted her post quicker than Kylie Jenner deleted her post. Listen, let me know what you think about DJ Vlad calling out Drake and DJ Khaled for not making public statements about the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, let's talk about T.I., Tiny, and the fam. A couple of weeks back, King Harris did an interview with Funny Marco, and King disclosed a few family secrets. King said that the show T.I. and Tiny's Family Hustle has a whole lot of people out there confused because y'all think that T.I. is really a hands-on father that's raising his kids, but that's not the case. Check out what King had to say.
So what is the real what do you feel like they got on you that they shouldn't have on you? Because I feel like with them probably seeing you grow up, they just got like, you can't be you.
Go. Yeah, man, it's a lot about that TV show, man, that got people confused. Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, "Hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house." They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when them cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house. Yeah.
Okay, this makes more sense, because I was totally confused. I was like, how is it humanly possible that T.I. is there doing his father's knows best thing and King turned out the way he did? But now I realize that they were just over there fronting for the cameras. And as soon as all of those cameramen packed up and left, T.I. and Tiny put King in a Uber and shipped him back over to Grandma's. They weren't raising this kid. And look, I get it. T.I. and Tiny both have very time-consuming careers that require them to spend a whole lot of time out of the house. So yes, they needed a little help from Grandma raising the kids. A lot of people do that. But then, how in the world are you gonna turn around and call your kids back to the house to play house for the camera? I mean, that's the crazy part. It's like, I don't have time to raise you unless the cameras are on. Listen, let me know what you think about King saying a lot of y'all done got it twisted cause y'all were watching T.I. and Tiny Family Hustle, because T.I. and Tiny didn't really raise him. His grandma was raising him that whole time. Now, peep this. Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter failed to show up to court the other day to deal with a lawsuit over an unpaid debt. According to sources, UBS Bank USA is suing Kevin for an unpaid credit card bill in the amount of $20,176.83. UBS said that Hunter was provided with a Visa signature card in 2014, and despite making numerous attempts and efforts to get Kevin to pay the money that he owes, he refuses to pay the debt. According to court documents, quote, the defendant has failed to make the minimum monthly payments by the payment due date, as required by the card member agreement. End quote. Due to the fact that Kevin refuses to pay the outstanding account balance, the suit is demanding the court to order Kevin Hunter to pay the full amount owed plus attorney's fees. You know what I don't like about this dude, and I never have? I don't understand why Kevin Hunter thinks that he's too good to go out and get a job like everybody else. I mean, he's been claiming for years that he was the mastermind behind Wendy's success. So, if that was the case, it should be easy for Kevin Megabrain Hunter to showcase his own skills and abilities and make a few dollars on his own without riding Wendy's coattails. You mean to tell me that him and a woman that he cheated on Wendy with can't cumulatively, working together, come up with like $20,000 without dipping into or depending on Wendy's bank accounts? That's just sad, and it just proves that he's a lazy, good-for-nothing, clout-chasing bottom feeder who can't survive on his own without a handout from Wendy. I mean, how hard can it be? Wendy done already paid for everything. She done paid for the house, she done paid for the cars, she done paid for the silly posturpedic bed that you were laid up in with the next woman, and you still can't support yourself? I mean, that right there is crazy. Listen, let me know what you think about Kevin Hunter getting sued because he's not paying his credit card debts. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. And hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.